It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we back for some more Ali Land boxing talk. So let's get it.
Fighting in Saudi Arabia, he was fighting in Dubai, he was fighting in Abu Dhabi. Show me the money. I mean, if the Malaysians put up the money, sure the fight will happen there. But it's show me the money. I've been through this scenario many, many times. This is not my first rodeo with somebody putting up the money. Sometimes it happens, like it happened twice in Macau and once in Australia. So we'll see.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we back for another one. Back for some more Ali Land boxing talk. And the breaking news for today, the big news is Manny Pacquiao versus Lucas Matthysse will no longer be shown on ESPN pay-per-view. It will be moved to either ESPN's main network or ESPN Plus streaming service. And there's been a lot of news around this fight, a lot of controversy, a lot of just a lot of stuff surrounding this fight, as far as Freddie Roach no longer being involved, as far as Top Rank no longer being the promoter of Manny Pacquiao, although they're still involved, or supposedly still involved within the fight, as far as handling Manny Pacquiao's television rights and the television of the fight. Also, the news of Boo Boy Fernandez being promoted as head trainer for Manny Pacquiao, and just a lot of big news around this fight, as far as moving parts, man. So let's focus on the fact that the fight will no longer be shown on pay-per-view. To me, I don't look at this as a bad thing, because if you look at it from the standpoint of the fight between Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn on ESPN drew in, I believe they said 4.5 million viewers, close to 5 million viewers. And if he was to go ahead and put this fight with a bigger named opponent on free TV, I'm pretty sure he would at least draw in another 5 million viewers or maybe more. So if you think about it from that aspect, man, this is actually really good for Manny Pacquiao and the revitalization of his career, because if it was to be put on pay-per-view, as a Manny Pacquiao fan, I probably would pay, as long as it wasn't too much, just to support his career and his pay-per-view numbers. I'd probably pay to see it, and if it was too much, I'd probably just stream it off some service. But if you look at it from the revitalization of his career aspect, the Jeff Horn fight did 5 million. I'm pretty sure not all of those 5 million people was Manny Pacquiao fans. So if the Lucas Matthysse fight could at least draw in another 5 million, you're talking about 10 million, people who've been drawn into Manny Pacquiao, and I'm pretty sure not all those 10 million people would be Manny Pacquiao fans. So he's putting himself in front of a lot of new faces and a lot of new eyeballs to draw more attention back into his career, even at the later aspects of his career. So it's actually a great, smart business move on Manny Pacquiao's account, man, because if he wanted to set up let's just say he wanted to end his career on some type of mega fight, to set that up, you would have to, number one, you have to win whatever fights that place before your final fight. but you would have to set it up to where your final fight would be a big seller, and it's going to draw in quite a substantial amount of money, because it's going to be the last time you're fighting for money. So if you're looking at it like that, man, to put yourself what's a better way to get there than to put yourself in front of 10 million people who get to experience what you have to offer for free. And it's a great plan to draw in new viewers, and it's a great plan to show that you can produce huge numbers, of viewers. So as far as the fight being shown on ESPN free, I think Manny Pacquiao would be smart. I think it would be smart on his part to try to revitalize his career by giving people some free content, and not only that, but to further his brand, Manny Pacquiao Promotions, by not really giving away two fights, but making it to where his first real big name promoting event is accessible to everyone. He could break some records with with this event, if it's actually on free ESPN. Well, not free ESPN, but cable version of basic cable version of ESPN. And pretty much everybody has the basic cable version of ESPN. So we're talking about some big numbers, man, that this fight could do. Not only for the fact that Manny Pacquiao's name still draws in a crowd, but Lucas Matthysse is not unpopular. He's still a very popular fighter, so I'm pretty sure. Like I said, when he went against Jeff Horn, nobody knew who Jeff Horn was, but it still managed to pull 4.5 million viewers. So I'm pretty sure going up against Lucas Matthysse could do at least 6. I'm pretty sure Matisse's name is good for another million viewers, at least, man. So for an event to do 6 million views would mean a lot for boxing right now, because I've been on get on a lot of Facebook groups and Facebook boxing groups and talk, post stuff and talk to people. And I put up a meme the other day about Terence Crawford's pay-per-view numbers, and I really took a shellacking from people, because people tend to take what they believe is the next big thing, stick it up on a pedestal sometimes, and try to make it bigger than what it really is. But I was just trying to point out the fact that every major boxer, pretty much since the like I guess late 80s, has had to go through the pay-per-view grind, which means when you hit the elite level, you have to be good enough to draw in a crowd so that your fights can be placed on pay-per-view and that you can get the big time paydays. And the big time paydays only come with your ability to be able to draw in a crowd. What I was pointing out about Terence Crawford is, as good as he may be, or as good as people may think he is, he still, for some reason, doesn't have the ability to draw in a huge crowd. A lot of people say he's the most talented guy in boxing right now, but for some reason, people just don't want to watch him. I don't know if it's. I watched a few of his fights, and he's talented, man. But I still think he's people have placed him a little higher than where he needs to be because of the level of opponent he's been fighting. But I will say he has the opportunity to go as high as he wants to in boxing, as long as he starts to fight stronger competition. But I was just pointing out on that forum that Terence Crawford he's only He's only done like 70, maybe 70,000 pay-per-view buys with his. I think he's had one pay-per-view fight, and it's just not. Those numbers are horrible. There are guys like Timothy Bradley and Brandon Rios who've actually destroyed that 60,000 number, 70,000 number on the back that they fought. They had the opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao on pay-per-view, which is crazy. You wouldn't think. I think it surprised a lot of people when I said that Timothy Bradley's pay-per-view numbers are better than Terence Crawford's. And people were like, what? How could Timothy Bradley's pay-per-view numbers be better? I'm like, man, well, you need to go look that up. Elite boxing and money making in boxing is based on your ability to be shown on pay-per-view. And Timothy Bradley's made good money off of boxing because he was lucky enough to land on pay-per-view a couple of times thanks to Manny Pacquiao. And that set up a few of his own pay-per-view events. Brandon Rios, you can say the same thing for him. And these are not the highest ranked boxers in the world, but these are guys that were able to build a better career and do better numbers and get higher paydays off the fact that they fought elite level competition. And that's just what I was trying to point out about Terence Crawford and his ability to draw a crowd. And he's only going to be able to draw a crowd when his opponent is drawing half the crowd, and because his name, for some reason, like I said, even as good as people may think he is, for some reason his name is not drawing in the crowd that it should be yet, So I wasn't trying to, say he's the worst boxer ever, that he doesn't deserve any accolades, but let's not place him upon a pedestal until he proves that, hey, I can do, 500,000 pay-per-view buys, or I can do, 1 million pay-per-view buys, and I can be the next guy in boxing, all around, not just fighting skill, but I can sell an event, too, because that's a big part in boxing, even with pay-per-view, as far as the boxing world being in decline to some people. I don't see it as being in decline. I just see the Maypac fight was really overpriced. A lot of people bought it, and a lot of people were turned off by the fact that it wasn't a great fight. It was just something really boring that they paid $100 for. And it's why, I get into a lot of arguments with people about boxing, because a lot of people want to say boxing is the sweet science or it's an art form. And, people got brain damage in the 70s and 80s and 90s from boxing too hard, or going too hard. Now you need to be work smarter, not hard, all this type of stuff. And I'm like, man, this is the fight game. As much as people who say they're here for the sweet science, they want to see people get knocked out too. You know what I'm saying? They want to see a good fight. They don't want to see you 10 punches thrown every round, 10 connecting punches thrown. They want to see actual fights, man. And the fact that people, they take it to use Muhammad Ali's name. Oh, well, he got Parkinson's and he got brain damage and he only ended up like that because he fought too hard, or he didn't fight smarter, he fought harder. That's really a cop out, man. This is the fight game. It's supposed to be engagement versus engagement, skill versus skill. Now I know in there should be defensive skill too, but at what point did everything become about defense? It can't be 100% defense. Both of these guys can't be in there going, I'm going to be the greatest defensive fighter ever, and neither one of them throw a punch in the fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't get about people's argument about this. Defense only can win fights. Defense only can't win a fight, because if you get in there and both of y'all defensive fighters, neither one of y'all throwing a punch, y'all both just backpedaling and circling around the ring the whole fight. Nobody ever throws a punch. I mean, defense, you have to have some type of offense to complement your defense, or you have to have decent defense to complement your offense. I mean, it goes hand in hand. It's not one or the other, which, boxing can't be all about, going there and swing till you can't swing no more, because that's a really silly game plan, because you're going to gas yourself out before the end of the fight. But, guys like Terence Crawford and the new breed, the new crop of boxers, these are pretty likable guys. They're pretty talented, but they have a tendency not to, because of some things Floyd Mayweather showed everybody, which is, they're not bad things, but when you start to show people that, hey, I can make $1 million and I don't really have to do anything, or I can go over here and fight this guy and make $20 million, and I don't have to be entertaining. I just have to show up and not overdo it. Then you've kind of taken the fun out of boxing. You're taking the excitement out of it. You're taking the thrill ride out of boxing, because to me, boxing is about the fun of boxing. Sometimes is not knowing what might happen. The fun of the last Marquez Pacquiao fight was, we all watched Pacquiao destroy Marquez for about 3 minutes in that final round before he was knocked out, and then get knocked out. Who can't say that wasn't exciting? You know what I'm saying? That wasn't exhilarating, man. It wasn't like a joke, like, oh boy, I can't believe that actually happened. To watch somebody destroy someone for 3 minutes, basically, broke his nose, had his face looking like hamburger meat. But at the end of the round, one mistake turned into a knockout. One simple misstep turned into a full swing and a full reversal of the fight into the opposite direction. That's the excitement of boxing. It's not that I'm going to turn this fight on. I know this guy, all he does is circle the ring and throw 2 or 3 punches. He's going to win. Why am I watching this? That's Mayweather's career in a nutshell. The complete opposite of that is Pacquiao's career, where, like I just said, you can watch him go in, beat guys halfway to death, and then him get knocked out at the end of the round. That is 100% excitement. That is 100% entertainment. That is the beauty of boxing. That's the beauty of being fan friendly. That's the real sweet science, man. It's not to do just enough to take my money. The sweet science is, to me, is to be able to engage and be able to defend yourself, to give as good as you can take. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not trying to take away from Mayweather or what he's done for boxing. He's done some spectacular things as far as bringing boxing to a whole new generation, but he did something to boxing as well, as far as taking something away from boxing, as far as taking the excitement away from boxing, as far as showing, younger boxers the wrong way of boxing. Instead of showing them that you could be an exciting defensive fighter, he showed these guys that you can be a boring defensive fighter and just make money, But that's off the topic of Manny Pacquiao and Lucas Matthysse, but it has a lot to do with what's going on with pay-per-view and why events are not being shown on pay-per-view anymore, and why these guys, these new crop of fighters, can't seem to sell their events. They don't seem to get it. You know, Earl Spence, he's pretty exciting fighter. I watched him fight a few times. Terence Crawford is, like I said, he has skill. He's just, some about him is boring, man. It's almost Floyd Mayweather like. You know, Lomachenko. Everybody loves Lomachenko. He's exciting. He's dynamic. The way he boxes is unique. Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. You know, it's an exciting fight. You know, I know a lot of people are talking about Wilder and a couple of the heavyweights. Anthony Joshua. You know, I really don't like the heavyweight division right now. I think it's quite overrated. It's, you know, none of these big guys really have too much skill, and to me, you know. But you know, those guys, you know, they're selling their events, you know. So, you know, I can't blame them too much. You know, I'm not excited about heavyweight boxing right now. Those guys are still selling their events, you know. Their events are still being placed on ESPN, you know, Triple G events and Canelo events, you know. You know, Anthony Joshua, you know, being the biggest name heavyweight right now. So when people say that, you know, you can't sell a pay-per-view anymore, I just laugh at those people. I say it's not that, you know, boxing can't sell a pay-per-view, it's that Terence Crawford can't sell a pay-per-view anymore. It's Floyd Mayweather can't sell a pay-per-view without using somebody else's name to actually sell the event. You know, nobody wanted to watch him fight Conor McGregor, but it happened. But he had to do that to sell the event. So, you know, guys like Terence Crawford and, you know, the rest of these guys, they're just going to have to take their lumps, and they're going to have to learn to be more exciting and more entertaining for fans, man. You know, boxing's not dead. It's just going to take a lot more of these type of events being shown on free TV, and more exciting fighters to be willing to put it on the line to show you that boxing is still worth paying for. This has been Ali Land Boxing Talk, man. Everybody be sure to check out Manny Pacquiao versus Lucas Matthysse, July 14th, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, on ESPN. So, man, let's support, man, Manny Pacquiao at the end of his career. Send him out with a blast, man, and hopefully we get some great boxing from it, you know. So if everybody could please take time to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow Ali Land Boxing Talk as big as I can get it, man, and take you guys along for a fun ride.